The moment of absolute change begins when you stop negotiating with the version of yourself that is comfortable with failure and mediocrity. You have spent enough time observing the lives of others while your own potential remains locked behind a door of hesitation and endless excuses. The world does not reward those who wait for the perfect alignment of stars or a sudden burst of inspiration that never truly arrives. Real transformation is a violent act of the will where you decide that your current existence is no longer tolerable under any circumstances. You must look into the mirror and recognize that the only person standing in the way of your ultimate legacy is the one staring back at you with tired eyes. This realization is the catalyst that turns a drifting soul into a focused force of nature capable of bending reality to its specific desires. True evolution requires you to burn the bridges that lead back to your old habits and the people who benefit from your continued stagnation. You cannot expect to reach the peak of a mountain while carrying the heavy luggage of your past mistakes and your outdated insecurities. Every minute you spend entertaining the doubts of the small-minded is a minute stolen from the masterpiece you are meant to build with your life. You must become a stranger to the version of yourself that accepted less than the absolute best in every category of human endeavor. This internal revolution is quiet and solitary, but its effects will eventually radiate outward with a power that changes the very air you breathe. When you finally commit to the path of excellence, you find that the universe begins to reorganize itself to accommodate your new and uncompromising standards. The pain of discipline is nothing compared to the crushing weight of a life lived with the knowledge that you never gave your full effort. You must learn to fall in love with the struggle and the boredom of the daily grind, because these are the forge where character is created. Most people are looking for a secret shortcut or a magic formula that will bypass the necessity of hard and repetitive labor. However, you understand that the only way to the top is through the consistent application of your energy toward a single and clearly defined objective. By embracing the friction of growth, you develop a level of mental toughness that makes you invincible to the trivial distractions of the modern age. Your focus becomes your greatest weapon, and your work becomes the testimony of your refusal to be ordinary. You must stop asking for permission to be great and start taking the territory that belongs to those who are bold enough to claim it. The structures of society are designed to keep you in a state of predictable obedience, but you were born to be an architect of your own destiny. This means you must be willing to be misunderstood and criticized by those who are afraid of the intensity of your drive and the clarity of your vision. Leadership is not a title granted by an institution, but a quality earned through the relentless pursuit of your own highest potential. When you operate from a place of absolute sovereignty, you no longer need the validation of the crowd to know that you are moving in the right direction. Your results will eventually become the only argument you ever need to present to the world. The clock is a relentless predator that devours the lives of the indecisive and the fearful with every passing second of their hesitation. You do not have an infinite amount of time to decide who you want to be or what kind of impact you want to leave on the sands of history. Every sunrise is a call to action, and every sunset is a report card on whether you moved closer to your goals or further away from your purpose. You must develop a sense of urgency that borders on obsession, because the window of opportunity for true greatness is much smaller than you imagine. By valuing your time as your most precious asset, you begin to treat every moment as a chance to reinforce your new identity. This radical respect for your own life is the foundation upon which all enduring empires are built and maintained. Consider the reality that your current level of thinking has produced the exact life you are living right now, with all its limitations and frustrations. To reach a new level of achievement, you must adopt a new level of consciousness that is far above the one that created your current problems. This requires a total immersion in the knowledge and the philosophies of those who have already achieved the heights you are currently seeking. You must be willing to unlearn the lies you were told about what is possible and replace them with a cold and objective understanding of power and influence. This intellectual shift is the invisible work that precedes every visible success in the physical world of business and status. When your mind changes, your reality has no choice but to follow suit with a speed that will surprise even you. There is no nobility in playing small or hiding your talents because you are afraid of making other people feel uncomfortable with their own lack of drive. You owe it to yourself and to the world to become the most capable and formidable version of your own spirit that is humanly possible. This is not an act of ego, but an act of service to the potential that was placed within you at the moment of your birth. When you rise, you provide a blueprint for others to follow, and you raise the standard for everyone who enters your sphere of influence. Your success is a beacon that illuminates the path for the lost and a challenge to the complacent to do better with their own lives. By mastering yourself, you become a catalyst for the improvement of the entire human collective. The silence of the early morning is where your victory is won long before the rest of the world has even opened its eyes to the day. You must cultivate a private life of such intense discipline that your public success appears to the uninitiated as a stroke of sudden and unexplained luck. This hidden labor is the true measure of your commitment, because it is done when no one is watching and no one is there to cheer you on. You are building the internal infrastructure of a champion, which is made of iron will and a refusal to settle for anything less than total mastery.